Hi all, welcome to my YouTube channel, The Testing Instinct. In this video, I will be discussing about Bruno version 3 updates, how to use JS file in Bruno collections. Bruno provides the ability to create JavaScript test where you can modularize common code and reuse the test across different requests or collection. So in this demo, I will be creating a utility.js file under the collection, and I will be writing this JavaScript code to assert the status code of the API. And I will be using this test to verify the status code of the API. With this utility.js file, you can write multiple tests under this file and reuse across the same collection. To do that, you have to open Bruno. I have already opened Bruno. Now I am going to use the collection request. The collection request are stored under the folder 1. Under this folder, I am going to create a JS file and copying the name for the file. Utility will be the name given to the file. Click on these three dots. There will be a option called new JS file. Click on that. Give the file name. Click on create. Now under that file, just add this code. I will be sharing all these details in the video description. And copying the code. This is a JavaScript code to verify the status code returned by the API. So this assert code object is a array. We can check multiple status code based on the API behavior. I am saving this JS file. Now I am going to hit the API create user. Before that, I am going to reuse the test. In the test tab, I am going to create an object of the JavaScript function which I have written under the utility.js file, and creating the object, and after that pasting it here. Now I have to reuse the test which I have written there. So this will be the test. So this API is going to return a 201 status code. So to check whether the API is returning 201 status code or not, we have given the array value as 1. You can see if you check the JavaScript file utility, you can see 201 is in the first index, so that I have given the array value as 1. Now I am going to hit this request. You can see the test which I have given in the test tab got passed. You can see the status code should match expected value. If I give the value of array as 0, then this test case will be failed, because at the 0th index the array value is 200. So since the API is returning 201 status code, this will fail. This means that our JavaScript function has been referred correctly from the utility.js file. I am changing back to 1. So this is the way to use JavaScript file inside collection. Now there is an option to use JavaScript file across the collection. To do that, in the project root folder, you have to create one folder, shared script. You can give any name. The thing is that you have to refer the path correctly. So I have given a meaningful name like shared script to the folder. Inside that, I have written a utils.js file. Inside that, I have written the same JavaScript code which will verify the status code. Now we have to make changes in the bruno.json file of the collection where we are going to use this particular JavaScript file. So this is the bruno.json file for the collection request. So I am first going to use that JavaScript file under the collection request. So you have to make some changes in the bruno.json file of the collection in which you are going to use the JavaScript function. In the bruno.json file, you have to add one script object where you will be referring the additional context root object, and you have to specify the location of the JS file. So I have written the JS file under the project root folder under shared script. So I have mentioned that path here. Based on your file system path, you have to mention the path correctly. So I am copying this full Bruno.json and I am going to replace the Bruno.json of request collection. Now I am saving the Bruno.json file. Now you have to refer the JavaScript file correctly. So this is the path of the shared script where I have added the JS file. Now I have to mention that here. I am commenting out this line. I am saving the request. I am hitting the request. You can see the assertion got passed. So we have referred the utils.js file which I have added under the shared script folder. Now if you want to reuse this particular JS file in another collection, you have to update the Bruno.json file of that particular collection as well. So I am going to update the Bruno.json file of authorization collection. You can see right now there is no script object added to this particular collection. I am going to add that one. So I am copying the script object from here, copying it here and pasting it here. So this is a Bruno.json file of authorization collection. You can see the name of the collection here. Now I am saving the file. I have saved it. Now you have to follow the same process. So just copy this one. In the authorization collection, I am going to use the get request. Under the test tab, I am pasting the code. Before executing this, I am commenting out. I am saving the request. So if you hit this API, you will be getting a 200 status code. So if you check the code, to assert the 200 status code, you have to give the array value as 0. Saving the request. You can see the test code passed and it has been referred correctly. If you give the status code assertion value asserts code of 1, it will fail because at the first index of the array, the status code we are expecting is 201. So this API will definitely fail. You can see that we were expecting 200, but it was actually 201, which we have intentionally given. So I am converting it back to 0. Saving the request again and hitting the request again. Now the test code passed. This is how you can refer the shared script across multiple collection. You have to make changes in the Bruno.json file. You have to add the script object and you have to use the key additional context loop and you have to mention the location of the JS file. That's the important step. So I hope this session was very useful for everyone. If you find this video helpful and interesting, please consider subscribing the channel. Please like, share and comment on the video. Thanks for watching and keep learning.